Oh,
and we're live.
live. Making sure we go over to the YouTubes.
Did we make it to YouTube?
Yeah, there were some moments. I was listening to this in the car, and I had my kids in the back, and I'm like hovering over the pause button for a second. I'm like, is this gonna
progress places?
Is this gonna get too
Like,
steamy?
You mean I'll allow it, but it's like up to the kids.
Yeah, there were a couple times where she started having like suggestive thoughts, and I was like, "Go with that thought, run with it, and give me details. I need all of the stories."
Right.
Oh, so funny. Oh, Deja's here. Her comment has not popped on StreamYard yet, but
Oh, good, because I was just like, I see nothing.
nothing. Yeah, there's a lag. Oh, it's
a big lag. If you
a huge lag. Yes.
Oh wow, yeah.
There it is.
Hey, there it is.
There we go.
Huge lag. Oh my goodness.
Hopefully it'll just be like the first 1 or 2 comments, and then it'll just pop on over. We got both Alicias. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Alicia's.
Nice. And I like how the second Alicia's comment came up on StreamYard before I saw it on YouTube. I was like, you guys are all messed up. This is like oh, hey, Bianca didn't read no spoilers yet.
I mean, we already started the show with spoilers.
I know.
But we'll keep it PG, not stuff.
Just wanted to say hi. Well, thank you. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so the people who did read it, let's start with rating. Let's see with what did you rate it? Obviously, it's 5 stars because it's Julie and Lindsey.
I give it 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Yeah, I really, whatever Julie and Lindsey writes, I mean, honestly, it's fantastic. It's getting 5 stars from me. I see. Alicia. Yes, I recovered from the Only Good Indians. Honestly, I was scared of the dark for like 2 days.
When you posted that one picture of your dog, like I didn't even know what it was about, but just like the picture of the dog, I'm like, I'm gonna assume it's horror related, and then I may never read this book. And that probably would have terrified me.
Related. So I see like eyes, like light reflecting off of eyes. I was like, you were scared. My heart was pounding like a mile a minute. Oh my gosh. Bianca, this is Erin.
Oh, hello. I thought maybe she was here for the last live I was on, but apparently not. That's okay.
Thanks.
I don't think so. I can't remember if she was.
I'm sorry. When we go 2 weeks in between, like I barely remember last week's live. Mm-hmm. What did we read? Right. I don't even know.
This was the last time we were live. That was a lot of books ago. Let me just say that. Just. Oh, that's okay. No worries.
Maharet's coming from Germany. Is it Germany? Oh God, did I do it right?
Oh, hi Maharet.
Hello.
I might fall asleep since it's 2 a.m. Like honestly, you are the MVP whenever you come because I know it's so late where you are. This book wasn't scary, no, but not the last book I read, the book that I read over was it Monday? I don't even know. It was The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. And yes, that book was very scary.
So don't ever read it. Got it. It's on my non-TBR list.
If you don't like horror, don't read this book.
Germany, I'm for the win. Sorry.
Yes, Germany. It would have gotten 5 from me regardless, just because it took place.
How do you say that? Because I couldn't figure it out. Every time I read it, I was like, and I was like, I got nothing.
How do you pronounce this? Because I had Siri read this to me at the ebook, and she didn't pronounce it right. I can guarantee you, she didn't pronounce it right.
Because I want to say oh gosh, so I can't do it. I can't even do it. Trying to get that out.
Shinkatig, I think was how the Audible version read it.
Oh, okay.
There's an Audible of this? Say what?
There is, yes. I used a credit to get it because I was trying to do the ebook and I couldn't get sucked into it, so I had to switch to audiobook. So I don't have many notes, so I'm just going to lean off of your guys' comments.
Yeah,
I got a bunch.
Mine are pretty much all just like banging out already. Oh my God, we got a kiss in book 1. Who are we?
I know.
Like
I
a man.
loved it.
I was very confused at first because I was like, do I want to like Adrian? Because he was running and I think he was shirtless at that point. And I was like, describe like the washboard abs. And I'm going, all right, I'm here for this. I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to love you, but I kind of do. And then Sebastian came on screen and I was like, I think I love you more because you're like U.S. Marshal SEAL guy. And I was like, too excited.
That's why when Adrian first came on the scene, I was like, okay, maybe we're getting a second chance. But then I was also just like, he's not, I was like, oh, he's not a part of the sheriff's department or any kind of law enforcement. This is weird.
Be like, you can go.
I'm like, oh, he's now a
pass.
suspect. Now he's a suspect. I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Shinkatig?
Okay. I want to say Tagyu is how you say that. So Shinkotagyu? Is that how you say it? Did I butcher it? Am I that bad? I'm so sorry, guys.
I'm just not even going to attempt. Siri says it very wrong. I think she says like Cinco, like she's trying to say it's like Cinco de Mayo, but it's like Cinco, and then she goes Teague. I think she spells a certain part of it too. If there are ever words that Siri doesn't know, she just spells it.
Oh goodness.
Nothing better to take you out of the story, right?
I know. I was like, what? I'm like, what is this? I've listened to so many books that way from Siri. I'm like used to it by now. And no matter what book it is, whenever they has the word lunatic, she like puts like $% mark. It's like she can't say lunatic. I'm like, what are you doing?
Do you give your Siri an accent too? So does that make it even better?
Oh, I should, but I probably wouldn't be able to understand it because I have Siri at 2.5 speed. Is very fast.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Bianca, I'm house sitting, so I'm at a friend's house.
Oh. Where are you?
You did have it up there, but then you took it down. So I was like, I'll say it real fast in between. Just house/dog sitting with my friends on vacation. So no Jack Ryan today. I could put him up on my phone though and just be like, oh.
There he is. Yeah, maybe maybe like league, but with a T.
Teague? I think that's
Teague. You're guessing correctly.
Sorry.
Nice.
How did you say it again? Say it again.
Shinkatig?
Chinkatig.
Shinkatig.
Shinkatig. Okay.
Like she said in the one up top, like two above, so one above Bianca. Shinkatig.
Shinkatig.
I would never have gotten that. I'll know it now for the next one.
Shinkatig.
Am I going to really remember that?
I'm going to do all of Patience Price or PP's books happen on the island.
Every time I was like, can you like not call for that?
Well, at first, okay, so this is one of my notes too. They gave her full name, which was like PPP. So I was just like, and it was ridiculous. I can't remember it, and it's highided, so I can find it later.
It's Patience Peace Price.
Yeah.
Price. And I was like, oh dear God, they never gave her a chance. And then the dad was like, hey, you're here. And I was like, oh, you fucking did not.
And I was like, I was like, what did you call her?
Out of all of the names you can give your daughter as a nickname, PP, like, does that just, why would you do that to your child ever?
Honestly, I was like, it was so bad. I was like, you poor thing.
I was like, I think she would rather be called Sir her whole life rather than PP. Just like, excuse me, sir.
Called Sir.
I'm just saying.
Literally anything else. Seriously, Alicia, I'm like, no, don't call her that.
And every time, like, Sebastian was there and their dad did it, and I was like, oh my God, hopefully he went deaf for a second. Like, how embarrassing for me.
God, I like this guy.
I mean, it didn't stop him from liking her, but oh man.
Oh gosh.
Too funny.
Bianca's comment is not coming to StreamYard, but she was saying,
no, here it is.
Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Oh, I had to approve it. Why? I'm not sure. Probably going for when like Siri pronounces things wrong. It's like, y'all, where I live, our downtown streets are all Hispanic, and Google Map is hilarious. Trying to say even just ours, like we have like Peoria, and I live on Shangri-La. Having Siri or Google try to pronounce like our street names is hilarious.
I think when it was really funny when maps became like a first thing and they'd speak to you. We were actually in California in Los Angeles, so we were driving, and the system was like, please take a left toward Los Angeles. And I was like, what? It's now never going to be anything except for Los Angeles to me.
Yeah, we were going to, me and my cousins and my husband, we were going to Fajitas. It's a restaurant one night. And he called it Fajitas. Like, stop it. It's out. It's hilarious. Hi, Julie.
Hey, Julie.
Oh, AI.
It's really fun to see how they pronounce some of those crazier ones.
So funny. So, yeah, one of the things that we were talking about earlier is that we didn't really, I hope this doesn't stay to be, like, continue to be a love triangle. That's what I don't want, because I don't like Adrian. Like, are we team Adrian or are we team?
I was about to ask, like, what team are we on? I mean,
what team are we on? In the comments, let us know, because I'm definitely team Sebastian.
I like both things, but Sebastian is definitely my favorite. As soon as he like lifted up his arm and she's like, oh, there's a tattoo that he's like a SEAL team, I'm like, well, you've just solidified yourself in first place forever. So everyone else, it's not good for you guys.
Someone give me the synopsis. Okay. Armed with a new counseling degree, Patient Price is eager to move back home to this place, Island, to help folks with their problems.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. But she finds the streets awash in more than East Coast charm. There's been a murder, and Adrian Davis, the town golden boy who once stomped her heart into a zillion pieces, is the main suspect. Now he's on the run, claiming he's innocent. Patient finds this poetic, not that she holds a grudge. You know, I haven't even read the synopsis for this. This is hilarious. Adrian's mom is sure that with her FBI background, Patience can find the truth. Yes, she was at the FBI in human resources. That was the most hilarious thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You were the FBI, right?
Resources.
Every time.
You're like, you government types. They always said that. She was like, I was in human resources.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my gosh. So funny. Describe
Sebastian
being non-partial. Okay, Sebastian is fit.
A tall drink of water.
Guy. He has a tattoo and an 8-pack, and Adrian is this other guy.
Who's her high school sweetheart who played football. He only has a 6-pack. He didn't work hard enough for those extra 2.
Okay, we got a can't stand Adrian. Thank God.
Got it.
So I can pick a team. Oh, Elizabeth's here. Hi. Had to change to desktop to chat. I have so much trouble. Finish the book. Yay! I'm sorry. So your phone, you're doing it on your phone, is giving you trouble.
Okay, Alicia, right there. That was just like, no, that's a big no right there. You don't break into someone's house and just expect it to be okay.
Well, then his mom started to do it too. I was just like, what are you guys doing? Like, someone they just pop out of the bathroom or bedroom and be like, hey, how's it going? They're like, no.
This place, Island, we can't pronounce it. Well, that was non-partial. I can't be
accurate.
I do have bias. I apologize.
There you go.
Non-Adrian. I said it just to argue. Wow. Bianca chose violence today. So. Oh, Elizabeth, like Sebastian too. Oh, you're on your tablet. Okay, got it.
Sebastian, he was just wonderful.
His mom is so annoying.
She was.
Seriously. Like, yes, he was part of the FBI. He's like, I expect you to help him, blah, blah, blah. I was like, they are not even together. Anymore. Like, she just moved back. Why are you expecting anything?
And she didn't even like her when they were together either.
Yeah. And demands all of this stuff out of her. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he broke into her house repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
And his mom.
Oh, I would have punched her too, 100%.
Get out of here!
Throw a punch a couple times.
Like, sneaking up on her. She was just like, "I hear you. I hear you."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I was like, "Oh my goodness, she needs to just go away."
At least she was there when the car blew up, so she could call all the places. So yeah.
Car bomb. I mean, geez.
Car bomb. She got shot out a bunch of times. She got left on the roof to get a little sunburn.
So Julianne Lindsey loves to destroy people's cars. The main character's car. That's
that is definitely true.
Oh yeah, because that
was
girl Stella.
Yeah, Geek Girl as well. Like her car got messed up too.
Well, and then in the Seaside Cafe. Okay, it's been a while since I've read some of the earlier books. I think something happened with the golf cart.
Yeah, someone stabbed a knife in the head, her chef's knife in the headrest, and then Brayden put duct tape on it to fix it in the shape of a sheriff's star.
That's right.
Comments. I forget the comments. You are feisty. the last live stream, and you're gonna be feisty tonight. I can tell.
I love it though. Don't do anything differently.
Give us the feistiness.
Yes, he said.
He got a knife. Yeah, got it.
This one. Okay, I literally loved every time someone would just like come up to them and start complaining about their life, and then they just like randomly pass her money, and they're like, "It's such a great idea that you have your practice like on the run for anybody, so that they could just come up to you whenever." And I was like, "What?" It makes a lot of sense now why they're giving you money, but
I was like, "Oh my god, they are coming to her for counseling without actually coming to her for counseling."
Yep.
I was glad it was kind of that.
Yeah.
I was suspicious that like her parents had spread it around town that she needed help. And so everyone was just slipping her cash.
I thought the same thing. Like for the first lady that did it, I was like, oh no, what did her parents say? Yeah. And then it was after like the second or third time where I was just like, there are too many people doing this. And I have a feeling like they're all complaining about things that she can assist them with or give them advice on.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, maybe. Like, I don't know if maybe like the parents were just like, find her wherever you can and, talk to her. Or if people just kind of started assuming because she left flyers everywhere that she was just available whenever, wherever.
Yeah.
Well, also she was like in that small town, like no one wants to be seen like having counseling because everyone wants to believe like everything's perfect and, hunky-dory and no one's having problems. And so she even said like in one of the comments when they were doing or in her little office, like no one's gonna want to sit in this waiting room with all the glass.
Yep.
Because people are gonna be like looking around and everybody would know.
Display. Oh yeah.
Honestly, Alicia, like yes, like this comment, like yes. Yeah. Like, can you stop grabbing me and putting your hand over my mouth, please?
And then dragging her backwards to the bathroom. I'd be like, all right, every defense instinct, just go for it. Elbow, knee, groin, get something, anything.
He did like end up like didn't she like push him in the bathtub and like turn on the water or something?
Yeah.
I was like, seriously, please, like. And he kept doing it like repeatedly. I was like, "Can you no?"
That was hysterical.
Just like four-wheeling, like romping, like over everything, and everyone was like holding on.
And then the kids were like all in tears, but they were upset more probably for like the snacks and everything, not even about the game. They're just like, the snacks are on the ground.
Oh my gosh, she's like, I hear the sound of crying children.
She didn't hit anyone. It was fine.
You're making us laugh
Yep.
With those song lyrics. That's hilarious. Tell me when you're going to talk about who done it so I can politely exit. Okay. Right. There needs to be a code word or something so she knows when someone who shows up for help. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just finds the money afterward. Like one was like a 50 like tucked under like,
under the pie, and then there was like $80 for this
under the guy's car.
The handyman. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, you can go for grocery like with the dog, the grocery store." She's like, "This one's on me," and I'm like, "How much stuff did she buy?" Like,
I was like, I'm pretty sure there's like you have to like make sure everything is accounted for. This is like legit like store, like a business. Like you don't own this, you're just a cat.
Right.
I was expecting her to like pull out a credit card out of her like
swipe her own card
pocket or something. Yeah. But they never described that. So now I'm just thinking like how did she just get comped that? Being like, here, put this on my tab.
I'll be
Shakira.
Oh my gosh. My dad has a background in Brazilian
Whoa.
Jiu-Jitsu. I was nice.
That's amazing.
Good.
Yeah, my dad was a Marine, so I would like to take like some like official self-defense classes, but because I feel like in the heat of the moment, I would just be like, oh, I forget everything.
Well, and that's the thing. So sometimes like I'd have a complaint that she didn't do enough like in the moment. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if I was in her shoes, what would I be doing? And I'm like, I'd probably be catatonic. I'm not going to be able to move, to function, or think. So I was like, this is realistic. All right. You know what? I'll give it a break.
Yeah,
she doesn't have all the facts. I do.
Yeah, honestly. And I like in this book, also you kind of have little snippets of the post-traumatic stress as well that she's going through, because there is, and it's probably going to be a continuing theme throughout the series, because especially towards the end, where she's like nearly strangled to death.
Oh my gosh,
that was really dark too. I'm like, we're getting dark.
Okay. I won't say who it was, Bianca, but maybe close your ears. So she announces to the guy in the ambulance who it is, and then he leaves the ambulance. I was like, where did you go? And then the other guy pops in and like to finish her off, and I'm like, did nobody see this? Like, come on, guys. I was very confused.
Didn't the paramedic like call after the sheriff too? Like called his name. I was just like, are you an idiot? Like she literally just said Sheriff Murray did it, and he's like, Sheriff, she has a complaint. I'm like, what are you doing?
Bianca, hopefully you muted that.
Yeah, you just spilled it.
Oh, sorry.
Nicole, stop drinking. What are you doing?
I totally forgot. Hopefully she was still muted. I unmuted her.
Dodged a bullet, Nicole. You dodged a bullet.
Oh my god, I'm so terrible. I did this on another live show too.
And we just said too, you're like, you're safe.
I just go right into the spoiler.
But do you guys think the paramedic was on the take?
Oh
yeah.
I never thought about that, but probably because he was very suspicious.
I will say, because she had the smell in the when she went to go visit Adrian. At that point, I was like, it's either the deputy or the sheriff. Like, it's got to be one of the two. Like, it has to be, because I can't figure out anyone else. And honestly, everyone remained a suspect until the very end there. And then when she was in the forest and she's like, I've heard that sound in the forest before. Ponies didn't even cross my mind. I was just like, it's the sheriff. He's there for her.
You guys should have Jen on mute. She's so animated.
I was. Yep. Or I am, I guess. Yeah.
Because why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know? But yeah, that was super like, that was super dark. But she kept like headbutting him. Like she's like, this morphine's great.
I can't feel it.
Yeah.
Like, I can headbutt you to the end of time. I'm fine. Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely some darker themes in these earlier cozies that we have from Julie and Lindsey. But I don't mind it. You know, it's like I read thrillers and horror and stuff, so I don't mind it. But yeah, if you like exclusively read cozies, it might be a little jarring for you for sure.
Oh, yeah. At first, I thought it was going to have something to do with the mafia.
Oh.
You think you're okay to...
Yeah.
Oh, no. Sorry, I read the next one.
Oh.
Bianca's going to leave us. I was like, I don't think we'll say it anymore. We usually just kind of, I don't know, do what you feel best.
You bounce around, and I just cannot control myself, so... I'm so like... You know, it's terrible.
But yeah, with Sebastian and the fact that he had the mob after him on the mainland, I was like, oh, what if they all connect somehow? And that's going to be, I'm sure it's probably going to come up in the next book or the following one, where they're going to find him on the island somehow, and it's going to get like really dangerous. But I'm really happy that he's staying, because that just makes my heart happy. I just wish they would have spooned more other than that just one scene.
Yeah, spooning. Oh,
I hear you on that one, Bianca.
It's okay, Bianca. I am too. This is the only book I've read in a while this month. I think I'm on like book 4 or something.
I've been kicking ass in the reading. I'm not to toot my own horn, but I was just like, I've been doing great this month.
I I realize I start like 3 or 4 books at a time because I just don't know what I'm feeling. And then it takes me forever to finish them. And then I finish them all at once. So I feel like today I've caught up on everything and I just don't know what to start. And I think that's the hardest thing that puts me into a slump where it's just like, I don't know what I want to read because I just don't feel like reading anything in particular.
Mm-hmm.
So novellas might work. Graphic novels maybe.
Yeah, short things.
Yeah.
You can get through quickly and you feel like you are actually
Strangely, sometimes I pick up a tome when I'm in a reading slump to try and get out of here.
But that could have the same effect, like work like a novella where you just kind of get into an adventure with like a longer story and you're like, okay, now I really want to like, you can take your time with it, but at the same time it feels like an adventure. So I could see how that would work.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if that's why you do, but I would assume.
Yeah. I'm not sure why I do it either.
You're like, let's just see. Oh yeah, maybe that samurai vampire book for sure.
Oh.
I still have to read that too. I think we were talking about this the other day because I was on Chloe's channel where she did TGI Friend Day, and we like this book came up for some reason. I'm like, oh yeah, I still have to read that book. I think it's on KU. I'm definitely a mood reader. Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised I've been doing so well with my TBRs because usually as soon as I put a book on a TBR, I'm like, I have no interest in reading this.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I guess I'm at a steady 8 or 9 a month, hoping for a couple more finished by the end of it. Nice.
Like I'm the same. I did check the numbers and I'm at 25 for the year, so I really can't complain that I'm in any sort of slump. That usually hits when summer really starts to crack for us because as soon as it gets too hot, I have no motivation, like it's sucked out of me. So right now we're a little bit on the cooler side, so I still have that slight motivation, but I know my slump is coming because it's almost a guarantee. Every May, June is when it starts and I'm just like nothing sounds appealing.
Yeah. Anyone else just yes, 100%. I do. I have to like talk myself off the ledge. I'm just like, no, you do not need all the free books. No, but it's free.
Well, that's part of the thing is it's free and it's like it doesn't take up any space, so why not? But then at the same time, I track all the ones that I put. So the higher my TBR gets, then I feel like I'm like just drowning in books that I'll never read. So yeah.
Entire room, sure.
And it helps indie authors and new authors that are just trying to get their book out there too.
Maybe I should start
give them that.
Then.
Yes, get all the free books.
Yeah.
You guys have convinced me. I'm on.
It does not take much.
It really doesn't. I'm easily enabled.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I was like, I know. It doesn't take much for me. Okay. I gave up on putting a TBR in writing. Oh, yeah. I just like, so many readathons are happening and,
I've read so many things, Nicole. I don't know how you do anything other than read. Like, do you sleep? Do you eat?
None. I do not. Oh, hold on. I don't really hit slump. Weird flex.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I just get to the point where I have to switch genres for a bit. There you go.
That's all right.
I go through emails, free books for the day. Okay, sounds good. And some of those books aren't very long either. There's they're novellas, especially like with the because I get a lot for the romance ones. So BookBub, and so they're not very long at all. So you just
My only problem with those is that usually the first one is like 50 pages, and then they're like $7 for book 2, 3, 4, and I was like, excuse you. That's not very nice.
Yeah,
like I get it.
Book one that's free, and then the next book is $3.99.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
They do.
Well, I gotta know. And the first book, of course, ends on a cliffhanger. You gotta know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if they put it for 99 cents, like had like randomly just deals where all of them are sporadically. So Nicole, you'll know a little bit about this because of our In Real Life book club. So the Bridgerton, they're doing it with Audible. So they didn't put book 1 on sale, but 2 weeks ago or so, they were having like their $5 sale. So you could get 2, 3, and 4 for $5. And I was like, that's genius. Because then you make them use a credit for one and then they can spend $5 on these ones. And if you're smart, I did it and bought them. Then they gave you the next like deal thing that they have going on right now for 2 titles for 1 credit. And they had book 5 and 6. So I was like, all right, I'm here for it. I highly doubt they'll ever put 1, 7, or 8 on any sort of deal, but I'm here for it when they don't know how long I can hold out. Like when I want a deal, I will hold out. But at least I'm like starting to collect them shortly. So hopefully these next 3 come out.
Your virtue.
You're so punny, Nicole.
I know. Oh. An FDR book and what? Not short books. No. And also like nonfiction. I don't like that either.
I hear you, Elizabeth. I hear you on the readathons being too much pressure.
They are. Can I tell you my first ever readathon? I literally spent an entire day trying to figure out how I could like do a blackout. And I was like, I could have spent this whole day reading, but I was so stressed trying to figure out like the perfect book to pick that would knock out like 4 titles. And I was just like, this is a lot of work to just want to read something. So I should just not do them.
Yeah, and I thought my, 2 readathons this month was a lot. I'm doing 4 next month.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
So,
Bianca said night, and then she said, wait.
Wait, night. Wait.
I was ready to say goodbye, but then she's not done with us yet.
Nope, she's still here.
So you're doing 4 readathons next month. What is your book schedule? Like how many books do you have planned for all 4 of them? Because I'm sure at this point you're probably putting multiple books on each one so that you're not drowning. But like, what is it looking like?
This month with a 2-month-long readathons, and each bingo board is like 25 spaces or 20 spaces. So I'm just like, so I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm gonna guess at least 18. 25? Oh God. Everyone put numbers in there. How many books Nicole's reading in March? 45. Am I close?
60.
No, 25.
25? Oh my God. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell in everyone's ear.
Smut.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Gulag is the title. Yeah, that's not sure what that is, but it sounds interesting.
Anxiety. That's exactly it. Because then I start feeling stressed and I'm like, I'm letting everyone down. I'm like, literally nobody fucking cares whether I finish this or not. But like I put the pressure on myself. So it's like, that's the worst. I'm trying to do that currently. I'm so close. I have like 4 more books. So 100%.
Alicia's losing sleep at night. Oh, how's Nicole just going to read?
Well, because we were in another group chat and you were like, I have 8 books to finish by the end of February. And I was like, I had to sit down for you.
Like Sunday, and I'm like, I have 8 books to finish.
20.
And that's fine.
Yeah. Nicole is the queen of reading. Yep.
25. Yeah, I think I'm at 25. Same, men.
Jen. The J and the M, they're close. I get it.
They're super close on the keyboard.
I was just like, what do we say about men in here? Like,
it's great. Okay.
No. Ooh, I wish. I was like, I would literally take all of Julianne Lindsay's like male characters and be like, make them rain.
Oh my gosh. I could say some things, but I'm not going to.
Jen's going to tier rank them here.
Yeah, I probably could. West is at the top. But let me just tell you. So I feel like I've seen something about Julianne Lindsay posting this, but I had a friend who yesterday randomly texted me. She's like, there's this guy who's a U.S. Marshal, and he's in Kentucky, and I'm here for that accent. And I was like, I think you would like literally any book written by Julianne Lindsay, because I feel like he's got the Southern charm as well as the U.S. Marshal. And then I was like, I'm going to need to know the name of this so that I can start watching it immediately. And it was Justified, which I feel like a lot of people in the chat have talked about before with I'm going to butcher it, Timothy Oliphant.
Yep. Yes.
I've started watching it, and I'm literally addicted. So
you know
where I'll be.
When it first came out, but we kind of like fell off it. But we would like to watch it probably My husband, we like that kind of stuff, you know.
But I was just like, I imagine all of the male characters now, and I'm just like,
oh, so for a long time, like pretty much my whole life for a while, I read only science fiction. And I did this project where I read the top 100 science fiction books of all time. Oh, and then after that, I had so much straight white dead men authors that I had to,
it's true.
that I actually went and looked for some female author stuff, and then I just fell into romance, and I haven't seen the light of day since, pretty much.
He's like, I not look that. You know, it's like sci-fi, you know, it's like cut and dry, you know, sometimes you get like that action adventure and stuff, but like you said, you just needed a little bit more spiciness, a little bit more.
Oh yeah. Spice.
What I'm hearing is you need miniseries or movies.
Accurate.
And anything by Brady C. Cherry. Yes, I need to read her backlist because I think the only thing that I've read by her is The Air He Breathes, and I would like to read more.
I recently read something by Penelope Wilde, which I think I had gotten it for free because there were two guys and there was a girl, and it was Valentine's Day, and it was Stealing Valentine, or Valentine, I guess is how you would say her name. But literally, I was like, two guys and a girl, and I'm like, I'm here for it, so let's give this a shot. And it reminded me a lot of Madison Faye, and I was just like, I think I'm going to go down the rabbit hole for this author as well, so I can mix things up a little bit.
Is that author on Amazon? It'd be easier to go down the rabbit hole for her.
Oh, 100%. A lot of it's on Kindle Unlimited, so check it out. Nice. Penelope Wilde, W-Y-L-D-E.
Okay, right.
Penelope's just normal.
Writing it down.
I will say, though, that it took a long time to get to what we'll call the naughty parts. And it happened once. And then they were like, 3 days later, I woke up and I was like, 3 days! I need more information about those 3 days! Like, details.
I hate that when it's like fade to black like that. It's like, you know, that's where they're going. But it's like, the next morning I woke up is like the next chapter. I'm like, no.
They do. She does give you like a graphic scene. And then there was one like quick graphic scene as like the epilogue. But I was just like, you had your graphic scene, and I'm like, I'm here for like whatever you have for the rest of the book. And then like there was like 3 days later, I woke up and I was sore all over, and I was like, why don't you tell me more?
Sure, let me know.
Sorry, don't yell, but
for Southern Charm, or are you saying like anything by Brittany C. Cherry's for Southern Charm? Got it. I'm down for any crime drama TV hot characters. Is cherry on top?
100%. Yep.
My cozy mysteries new category for Julie and Lindsey.
There you go. I'd read it.
Sci-fi. I mean, she just dabbles in sometimes there's like that paranormal aspect where like maybe there's a ghost, or maybe like that one what is her name that baked cookies or cupcakes or something.
Really?
And I think she had like kind of like a paranormal like
magical brownies. Yes. And she was debating on whether or not Jack really had feelings for her. Yes, Lacey, Jack does have feelings for you. You should bang it out on the streets of New Orleans. Come on.
How do you do that?
I blame the Guinness guys.
So like she just puts a little bit of the paranormal. But yeah, I would like if Julia Lindsey, if you're watching, if you wrote an entire like fully paranormal cozy mystery, I would eat it up like catnip. I love those cozies, paranormal cozies.
And you're allergic to cats, and if you were to have a catnip, like what would that do to you? She'd eat it right now.
I mean, I think it would be fine because his catnip is not actual cat.
Just don't go near a cat.
Roll around it first.
Exactly. My God, tangent of the century. Should we go back to the book?
What book were we talking about?
Sebastian.
Sebastian. And his 8-pack.
I was suspicious of him. He was a little too perfect for a while there. I was like, it's giving him the side eye for a while there. But
I love that. He was kind of like he was trying to make it seem like he didn't like care for her that way. A little bit like too much because there was this one scene where she was like licking peanut butter off her fingers, and he's like, "Can you stop doing that?" And she's like, "Why?" And he's like, "It's disgusting." I'm like, "Are you sure you're not thinking about something else?" Because he's like,
okay, so for all of those, I never read it that he was just like trying to convince her, "Good night, Bianca."
Good night.
Convince her about anything about no feelings. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just because I was really hopeful the whole time. So I always read it where he was just like, he said it was disgusting, but he was saying it in a way that like it was disgusting because like it wasn't at all. And we all knew that.
It was making him feel disgusting in his thoughts. Is that
like the direction like his thoughts are going?
I mean, he always has handcuffs in the back, so maybe he was thinking like bad thoughts, and who knows?
Oh,
and he just wanted her.
The blood flow was going to a different head, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, seriously. What about the days you don't drink Guinness? That's what Elizabeth's like, no.
I mean, every other day that I'm not on here. I don't have that excuse then. I just say, I was the Guinness from the other day.
Like, I drank it a week ago. That's why I'm so feisty today. Calling her boss. Yeah, I thought that was
I love that.
Okay, well, I like how she was downsized, like she got let go, and they're still calling her and asking her stuff. I would be like, peace. No, you fired me. Figure it out. I'm sorry. Figure it out.
Oh man,
I would not be giving them any more of my time.
Yeah.
So bad for her because everyone's like, oh, well, where did he put this here for me? And I'm just like, that's your job now. Figure it out. Like what you were saying. I felt so bad for her because I feel like that happened for me when I left one of my coffee shops. It's just people were kind of used to me doing a lot of stuff, and so I kind of left as much notes as I could. But they still, reach out to you. So you have that period where it's okay to do that, but then after a while, you're just like, I'm gonna need you to not ask me questions anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if you left on good terms, it's one thing, but if
like,
you were told to leave.
I know,
true.
Like I was down. Like she was the one that literally did all the work, and they let her go. I'm like, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this other, I wrote down this other sci-fi cozy mysteries. Yeah, I'm definitely sci-fi cozy. Definitely looking that author up for sure.
100%, Alicia. I was just like, after a certain point, you got to be like, do your own job, figure things out.
I wouldn't even answer. I would block all of their numbers.
And she didn't. She stopped answering after a while. Good for her.
Yeah,
seriously, good for her. She's like, it was that one where she was like, "Don't do this," or there would be repercussions, and then or like retribution or something, and then the other girl was like, "Well, what will he do?" And then she didn't answer. Like, let her figure it out, like I did.
Yep. I kind of wanted to know what the retribution was. Like, can you tell us at least? Because I'm kind of curious.
I was just like, sink or swim, figure it out. I'm like, I'm blocking all of you. Yeah, figure that ish out. Figure that ish out. For Samantha.
Oh, okay.
Okay, gotta write these gems down.
So you can throw those into your
No, that can't. It's locked. I already filmed the DVR for it.
Oh, nice. So then you'll do it for April's blackout board. So do you aim for blackout in all of those or no?
I try. These readathons that are happening next month, they don't have any bingo boards, which is kind of sad, but also kind of relieving. Because I try to, like, if you put a bingo board in front of me, I want to get blackout. I don't care how I'm going to do it. I want to get blackout.
And that's why I spent an entire day trying to figure out literally everything. I think I managed to do it with like 3 or 4. There were 16 spots. And I think I was able to do it in like 4 or 5 books because I was able to like max it out for a bunch of things.
Awesome. Okay, I'm just going to go through my Post-its and just see what we have not talked about yet.
True.
Oh, okay. This another thing that kind of made me really upset. At this Adrian guy.
Oh.
I was like, "You're still mad I went to college? Do you know how ridiculous that is?" I was like, "You're so stupid. That is like so dumb. Like, of course she's not mad at you that you went to college, you idiot. Like, she's mad that you didn't tell her that you had plans for the future that didn't involve her. That's what she's mad at."
Like college was so out of her wheelhouse. It wasn't. He couldn't even bring it up about them going together or anything.
Oh my god! I was like, "You are so stupid." Like, this is page 37. I'm like, I hate you so much.
Oh, the narrator in the audiobook made his voice kind of nasally and whiny too, and it's just like that's perfect. That's exactly how I picture this.
No.
For his character, that is fantastic. You're like, awesome. I hate him even more. I'm here for Rex. Talk a little of the book. Love it.
It's true. That's accurate.
Where's the lie? Do you get readathons on YouTube? Yeah. Some of the readathons that I do are hosted by booktubers. One, because I do participate in the pop culture readathon that happens. They do like kind of mini rounds and like month-long readathons. But they're on Twitter. They don't have any booktube channels. The creators, Whitney over at Books With Me, and then Lauren at Reading Parent. They're just on Twitter and Instagram. They don't have YouTube channels, but that's probably one of my favorite readathons. They're so cool.
I actually have book 1 of that series. I just looked it up because I was like, that name sounds so familiar. And I think, Nicole, you made me pick it up too. You may have read it first or something. The first book is called Cat About Town, and I definitely have that. So it's on my
TV. I've read it. I think I'm just like, here, this is about cats. You're going to love it.
I'm sure I will. Because I do that a lot of times. Like, I'll just start all of a sudden, like, cat mystery, and then go on Google and see what happens. So I'm excited for it.
Probably like 80% of the cozy mysteries are cat related.
Yeah.
Adrian wasn't the brightest crayon in the box.
Which was fine for high school, but now we're in the major leagues and we need some SEAL team U.S. Marshals.
He wants to run for mayor.
It's cute.
I'm like, no, please don't. Oh my gosh. That's the only way to get it past the censorship on YouTube is you got to figure out clever ways to curse. I will never use Twitter forever. Yeah, Twitter can be like a dumpster fire, honestly. But I like scrolling through the drama. I'm like, but yeah, they're on Instagram too, Elizabeth. But yeah, they do have a Discord too if you use Discord, so you don't have to get on Twitter if you don't want to. Next post-it note. Nope, we talked about that. Talked about that.
Come on, Nicole, pick a post-it note.
We just already naturally picked up on the best parts of the book.
On all of it.
It is accurate.
We talked about that.
While she's trying to find one, for all of you people, yesterday this lovely gem came out, so you should all go pick up your copy. Also by our queen. Our
lovely, lovely queen, Julianne Lindsey.
Yep. This one actually, I think, Alicia, you're the oh God, what do they call it? Like this book was for.
Oh, the dedication?
Dedication. Thank you so much, because I can't say words.
I don't know how you can do all those readathons. I'm failing this month, the 2 I'm doing. You're doing perfect. You are succeeding in everything you do. Promise.
If it makes you feel better, I didn't even start one, so you're way ahead of me. You're already winning.
I wish there was more of her friend in the book. Yeah. She might be in the second book, but yeah, I really liked Claire.
Claire, I liked Claire, and then I also liked the sheriff lady person.
Oh yeah,
the one that paperwork for her.
Yes. Okay, so my next note was how her mom is supposed to be psychic.
Oh.
And then how when what scene was this? Oh my gosh. Oh, it was when someone was shooting out her car. She was like, my parents materialized. What happened? Some psychic. If my mom didn't see that coming, I didn't think she'd fool anyone anymore.
She got salty on that too.
Oh, yeah, I was like calling her mom out. You are. Oh my gosh.
Her parents reminded me of my in-laws, but like a more wholesome version of it. Like my in-laws like do the things like stick candles in their ears, and stuff, but they're the kind that'll like lecture you for not believing in it.
Oh my gosh. I know they have all like their, like holistic and herbal remedies. And like her mom started burning sage like after
on fire.
I'm like, oh my god, read the room. You want to smell burning
She was
things
trying to cleanse the room. Come on, Nicole.
She does not want to smell burning things right now. Oh my god. And then dogs are barking, of course.
Oh man. Nicole, tell your dogs we're doing post-it notes. The sugar water. I know. Every time he gave her sugar water, I was like, what is this? Like, I don't even know.
But by the end of the book, she's so stressed out. She's like, no, I'll take some of the water.
Well, and then they had like the bourbon and some of the tea or something.
Yeah. Okay.
This book was very amusing. I will
say
say this book never had a dull moment. At one point I was like, can we stop having so many just like stressful things happen to her? I felt so bad. I was like, I would never leave the house. And then he was just like, Sebastian was just like, please don't leave the house. And she's like, okay. And then she like walks out the door and I'm going, did you not hear the message that he just gave you? Like, you got shot out. You've been bombed. Like, you have smoke inhalation in your lungs. Like, maybe you should take a day off and like let this case rest for a moment.
Every time you leave the house, something bad happens.
Exactly. Well, and then the cat at one point tried to run inside. So I was like, oh my God, this cat's going to probably end up saving her life at some point. I was like, let the cat inside. And I loved that Sebastian was just like, oh, we have like a little bowl of water for Freud because I think it'd be really cool to have him here at the office. And I was like, that would be such a great idea. And he loves cats, so therefore he wins.
And therefore he wins.
Yes. 5 billion points to him.
Yeah.
Okay, when her car got blown up, her dad was like, guess that new tire was a wasted $200.
I think I highlighted that too. What does he go on to say?
And then he's like, too soon.
I think I talked over you, Nicole. What was the other part of the line before that?
Oh, those brand new windows were a bust too.
Yes.
Oh,
I felt so bad. Well, and then like the guy comes back to replace the glass the next day, and he looks at the work order like, weren't we just here? Yes, you were, sir. Yes,
right.
you were.
Or windows.
Oh my gosh. Poor thing.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, go ahead, Jen.
You go.
All right. Now, Alicia's comment there. Totally. That when they revealed that trap door, it made me think of the movie The Conjuring, where they go into the armoire and they open the back and there's this hole into the space between the walls. It's like, oh, no one wants to find that.
As soon as they revealed that, I'm like, I never want to buy a house that I'm not like the first owner of, because something like that would literally freak me out. I was
like, we gotta just, lock this up. Or there's like, a locked door that you don't have the key to. You don't know where it goes. And I'm just like, nope, don't even buy the house. No, no. But she's like, there are rumors that place was haunted anyway. I mean, we learned that, it was all like kind of like rumors spread by Adrian, but it's like, still, like, if there are rumors that this house is haunted, like, do not, like, you're just asking for trouble.
So true. Yeah. And this with the water, I didn't understand that. Like, I get it, there was a full moon, but I'm just like, if you capsize, you have no idea which way shore is. Like, after a certain point, you're in low enough in the water, you are, for lack of a better term, fucked. Like, just don't do it. Like, stay out of the water.
Well, and like our swim coach said, like, swimming in the ocean is a whole different ball game than swimming in a pool.
It takes muscle. He was just like, pools are for girls.
I had horror stories. Like, I thought back to, what was that one movie where everyone was like, it's the longest 80 minutes of your life? And it legit was. Like, I felt so stressed. It's the one where it's like, I think it was based on a true story too, where this couple goes out on like a scuba expedition or
open
something.
water. I know.
Open water.
Yeah.
Yes. And where they go and then they come back on the ship, but because they did and then they went back out, they had already counted them. So they thought everyone was there and they just spent God knows how long outside. And then eventually he got bit or something. And then she just like lets herself drown. I was just like, this is why I'll never go in the ocean. Like, no. And then the other day, sorry, this is kind of a tangent, but there was literally a picture of a shark with like, they had like a meat thing and they were bringing it up to like get the shark like opening its mouth. And I'm like, this is why I will never go into the ocean for more than like a foot. Like, you could not pay me, like, as much as it would be really cool to like scuba dive, I don't think I could ever like get over my fear of being eaten alive by a shark, which I know is probably like low odds, but I would need to know that there was like a cage, like a wall that sharks can't pass, and that no matter the high or the low tide, that sharks do not come onto this side of the wall for me to get into the water, because that just, oh no. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sorry.
they're just like, oh, have you ever had a shark attack? Like, punch the shark in the nose. You ever try to punch in the water?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, not very, like, you're like,
They see it coming. They know.
They're like bobbing and weaving. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, my husband, he's a scuba diver, and he tells me all these stories about when he dives, and like he was like following after like this like shark, and I'm like, you're an idiot. Like,
no.
Like some barracuda, like he's just following. I'm like, you're so like, how are you still alive right now?
Like, I think to myself, like, I could probably go in one of those like cages, that'd be fine. But then I'm like, what happens if, like, God forbid, all the wires snap and it just goes to the bottom? Like, first of all, you're gonna drown there, and then you're just gonna die trying to get to the top, because they probably like put all the fish chum in the water to attract the sharks. I'm like, I'm dead no matter what I do. So
literally just described the movie with Mandy Moore. It was like
47 meters down.
I was just like, every horror story I can think of. Oh no!
I guess
never.
You work for HR. I freak out because I live alone. Oh my god!
Yeah, the back door. Well, and especially because like he even showed, like, at first I was thinking that he's still coming through the window, and then he's like, no, look, I nailed the window shut. Like, he's coming in a different way, and I'm going, where is he coming from? Like, that's too much. I can't even.
I knew there was probably a secret way in or something. I was like, and that made me hate him even more. It's like, that is so skeevy.
But it's just, well, because at that point you know that there's like a trap door somewhere, but it's like, at least tell her where it's coming from, because I mean, she was smart blocking it eventually, but up until that point, it's just like literally anyone can use this. And that was my biggest fear, is that whoever ended up being the killer was going to figure out where that trap door was and just like pop up out of nowhere on her, which maybe how the sheriff got to her. I don't know if he was in the apartment or did he follow her in. I can't remember now.
Yeah, I can't remember. That part kind of snuck up on me, where she was
attacked by the sheriff.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
we were trying to figure out had he come through the door like Adrian did, or if it was something where he like followed her into the home. I can't remember.
I think
or if he was already there.
I think he followed her in.
I followed him.
Alicia's comments not coming through here, but it says, when she said the ride across town in the four-wheeler with horror written on the side, it was hard. It was hard to do with her head held high.
Oh gosh.
I was at that part when I was riding in the car with the kids, and they were giggling quite a bit.
I mean, it could have been worse.
I mean, they're 9 and 10, so it's not like
true. Yeah.
But it was acting
I feel like she should have made a bigger deal of it a lot, being like, where are you coming from? I need to know. Like, I would never let him out of my sight. He starts going to my room, I would follow him into the room. Like, don't give him a head start. Just go.
Honestly. This was like just another part when Adrian just like wrapped his arm around, like covered her mouth, like snuck up on her. I was like, listen, I don't like you. that was it.
Oh,
yeah.
goodness.
I was like, if she gives this scumbag a second chance, like, I'm gonna be so upset with her.
I know. It's same.
So, like,
Same.
Sebastian is literally right there. Like, right there.
You literally have Michelangelo's the David, and then you have, like, my picture, my little combined clay man. The fat lady maternity, oh, you guys all know it, the maternity idol. You know which one I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The one where she's just like, you have the David, and then you have the maternity idol. I'm going with the David.
Yeah, and this one is like, in true moronic, muddle-brained form, recent trauma fashion, I leaned, he leaned, we leaned. I was like, no, you are not leaning to kiss. You're not doing it. But I like how she's like, at least she's calling herself out on her stupid actions. Like she said it was moronic. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you some points there, but stop. Yeah, we talked about that Post-it note.
What was it?
She was sucking
peanut butter
off her finger.
I know I already said this, but I never feel like, I don't know. I always read it as like he was trying to get her to stop because his mind was in other places, and we all knew what place that was because we're all already there.
Well, you're thinking that, but it's like it's from Patient's point of view. Like, so she's obviously not thinking that, because when she's like, she came in like towards the end of the book after.
Yeah. There's no way that he likes me.
After, yeah.
Are we reading the same book?
God, like, he literally like kissed you. Like, can you?
He saves you daily. He lives at your house. He fed you. Like, come on.
And I was like, can you not be like this? Please don't.
How about unpacking her stuff though? That was a little.
Oh yeah, for her, and like I was just, she thought it was sweet, and I was just like, well, how do you know that's where she wants that?
Right.
True.
Oh my gosh. If she cracked in the head when she kept popping up, might have thought twice about coming back.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. Get a spoon for the peanut butter. I mean, it's not about it. That's much more sanitary. Can I just tell you, like, COVID brain has ruined certain things, because I read another book where they like licked something off their finger, and I'm like, that's not sanitary anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, it actually probably never was, but like even more so now.
Honestly, it's so bad because I think about things that I shouldn't do after I do it. So I'm like, I'm at the store, I'm just like buying stuff, getting groceries, and you're supposed to sanitize your hands like afterward, but I never do. And I like rub my eye or something. I was just like, I shouldn't have done that.
Like you're in the middle of it and you're like, oh fuck, what did I just do? Like, if I catch it, this is the moment. I know it. I'll pinpoint it later.
Exactly. I was like, okay, if I get COVID, this is why right here.
I try to
especially
grab my
after,
shirt.
like, getting out of the grocery store or Goodwill for the love. But yeah, it's always after the fact where I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that.
I was like, I have sanitizer in my car. I'm pretty good about sanitizing when I get back in, but I always I don't feel like it's enough. So then I touch my steering wheel and I'm like, am I really sanitized, or am I just like spreading the germs now to here, even though
and then you just it later, and then, it's just
So
it's just a spiral that we find ourselves in, you know. It just makes the turtles all the way down. Where
I was just about to say that.
Sanitizer towards the end of the book. She's just eating hand sanitizer.
I'm like, I gotta clean the inside of me.
I'm like, no, don't eat hand sanitizer. Okay, my next Post-it note is when before they kiss, like when he leans in and they're like they're hiking or something, and she like passes out. I'm like, come on, because I thought that was gonna be like the end of it. Traditional cozies, like she would pass out or something would happen, and they would never kiss again or never attempt to. And I'm like, no, but then they here we do. I highlighted the whole thing.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think I highlighted it too, and I was just like, oh my god, we got a kiss in the first book. I was like, hopefully, because she doesn't know the rules about cozies. I'm like, come on, do the bad things. Come on.
Get some on-page stuff. Yeah, I thought this was actually like really sexy. It's like his smile morphed into something darker, needier. I'm like, I'm like, okay, I like where this is going.
I'm here for it.
And then
It's like, without another word, Sebastian slid one strong arm. It's a strong arm, guys. Strong arm around my waist and pulled me to the edge of the hood. My knees moved on instinct to accommodate him. I was like, yes, what's happening? If this was a romance, they would be banging like right there. Right there.
Right on the forest floor.
Right, exactly. There were a couple times too where they started to just say something suggestive, and I was just like, I am here for it, and I love it, and I need you to go further.
It doesn't stay on groceries. You can like, but like the surrounding areas. Can't relax. Gotta stay on guard.
Like when the cashier just hands you the receipt, and you're like, thanks.
Or you know, like you have like your like the credit card pad, but you know, you just saw the other person use it, and they have the plastic over it, but they didn't sanitize the plastic that's resting over the keys. Like, okay, why is this even here?
Make it easier to clean later.
Like later after the full day of people just
Right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. And then after like when she like capsized and like Sebastian finally finds her and like he was so worried about her, and I thought that was super sweet.
Let me just tell you, and I think I told both of you this earlier before the live stream started. Literally, when she capsized and they were shooting at her, again, this is where my fear of sharks come in to play out. I was like, the bullets are nothing. Don't worry about those. They slow down in water. What you have to worry about now is sharks. Like, you can't see those suckers. They'll come out of nowhere. You're going to be gobbled up and gone.
Gobbled up.
That was my only thought at that point. I was like, sharks would be my biggest concern. You can't see the depths of the water. Like, no.
Yeah. If you can't see the bottom, I freak out. And honestly, I'd rather go by bullet than by getting eaten by a shark.
100%. 100%. I would rather be shot in the shoulder and bleed out slowly, die, and not be eaten by a shark. Like, I don't need that shark nibbling on me before I die. Like, I would rather a slow death than to be ripped apart by a shark. No.
But once there's blood in the water, that's what brings the sharks.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully it just shoots
So, like,
my
there
heart.
was no sharks, but now that she's shot and bleeding, they were now sharks
They're
coming.
not sharks.
I was like, just shoot me in the heart so I'll bleed out a little slow, but I'll bleed out and then my body will just be floating there. Yeah, there was at one point.
Oh, that's no. You get shot in the heart, you have 2 minutes before you die.
That's okay then. Those are two suffering moments that I just like bleed out, and then after hours a shark finds me. It's fine. At that point I'm already gone. But yeah, okay, she had this moment and then she literally gets back in the water the next day. She's like, I'm gonna go for a swim. My post-it notes on that one is she's just like, oh yeah, I'll be able to float in the water. I'm like, float in the water, like where someone can find you to go shoot you, because like clearly Sebastian wasn't there. And then the next comment, she was just like, yeah, I got there just in time for everyone to leave. And I'm like, you have no witnesses now to know where you're at. Like, what are you doing?
Exactly. I was like, why are you doing that? Like, seriously, no one knows where you are now. And the only reason why he found her is because he put a tracker on her.
Which suspect? I was suspect of him for that. Seems like an invasion of privacy there.
So you put a tracker on me. That's kind of suspicious, but it actually saved my life. So
sharks, I'm out. When it comes to sharks, like I just can't even, guys. I don't know what it is.
No bullets are needed, just sharks. I'm concerned about snakes. Yeah.
Well, now I am. Thanks, Alicia. Book 2 and 3, like it'll be sharks, and then it'll be the freaking snakes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I like when Mrs. Franks was like egging like her
everything. Yeah.
But then this last time, like she goes out and like confronts her, and she was like, "Hey, stop it! What are you doing?" And then she's like, she tries to hide the card.
Are we on for meeting on Tuesday?
No one else around. She just like hides. Oh my gosh, I was dying laughing. And then can we get together next week? Call me. Like, that is so funny. Oh, I was dying.
You know, Jen, what was more traumatic than the water was the sunburn, honestly. When you're that sunburnt, like, oh, it's terrible.
You could feel it.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was there with
aloe, like a tea leaf bath. I'm like, you poor thing.
And then like the next day she comes into the purple pony and the parents are like, oh my God, the tea didn't do anything for her. Like we gotta get this and this ready to go for her.
She didn't do anything for her.
And then they're making drink plans for like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I was like, hopefully it's a Friday because I wouldn't be past like 9. I'm just an old lady. I can't even, guys.
Jen's in bed by 9.
I need to get back. So I don't know what it is about the winter, but the winter I'll stay up late and I'll struggle to wake up in the morning. But then during the summer, like I'm up first thing in the morning and I want to go to bed before like 8. Really? I don't understand how that flips. Like, I feel like I should be one or the other, but it's seasonal.
Do you let sunlight come into your room naturally in the morning?
I do. So that's probably a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Blackout curtains. We have in our bedroom.
But then I never wake up, which is what I love, honestly, about. But what I love about going on vacation, and like with Europe, literally, they don't have blackout curtains. So it's just like as soon as the sun was awake, I'm like, all right. Well, let's hit the city. Let's go visit everything.
Yeah, in the summertime, like the sun starts coming up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, no, sir. No, sir. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, this, we talked about when she, smells like the fish in the
police station.
The police station. It reminds her of the pillowcase. That was the pillowcase over her head, and that was pretty dark too.
Yeah,
like where she was basically almost smothered and tied to a chair.
Really afraid that more things were going to happen in that moment, and I'm like, if it turns bad, I may have to stop reading. I can't.
She would never do that. Never do that.
That's why I'm afraid of this book, because they did put a warning at the beginning here for people that are like sensitive to that, like triggers.
I don't think it will. It's for the intrigue line. I mean, you can't have that kind of graphic stuff on page. So it's probably mentioned, but it's not like graphic.
And I might be able to survive that. That I could probably handle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not Breath of Scandal by Sandra Brown. That garbage. No. I'm not going to let you live it down, Nicole. Never. There's not enough Madison Faye in the world to make people get that book.
There's not enough Madison Faye or Julianne Lindsay in the world. One time. Gosh, just sorry. This is the spooning comment. He's like, I like to spoon. And it's like, and so it's like, I slept easily with Sebastian. He like fully dressed. So nice. One arm protectively over my side all night. I'm like, oh.
I loved it so much.
During Pony Week, things are and there would be normal for people to be hanging out at that time. That's true.
Yeah, how they kill a pony, I don't understand that. 1, 2, like the way that the ponies were described, I literally just imagine like Satan ponies, literally like sharp teeth, like ponies. Red eyes, like I'm gonna come at you, like not these happy pink ponies or purple ponies that they described at the beginning. I was like, I imagined like the way that she described him, her fear of them. I imagined just like Satan forces.
She was so scared. She was like, at least I like after like there was one scene where she was, I think it was when she was getting like shot at and like she capsized. She's like, at least I didn't see a pony. I was like, you are your priorities, ma'am.
But she heard him the second time and then she just couldn't bear to look at it. I was hoping that maybe that was going to be a moment for her to like accept the ponies essentially and be like, they're here to save her because they took a bullet for her.
Sure.
Just saying.
They did.
But that's all of my post-its, the ones that we did not talk about. So yeah, it was we talked about a lot of stuff.
We did talk about a lot of stuff. At least everyone's on the right team here. Team Sebastian. Team Bash.
Yes.
Team Bash. Except for Bianca, who just wants to argue.
She wanted to be controversial. She doesn't know yet. Once she reads it, she'll be like, oh my God, how could I have ever said Adrian? I don't know. I don't know.
We were all confused. They are wild ponies. That is true. They're not like as my sister-in-law owns a horse, so it's like they're not going to be as docile. I mean, they're still kind of wild, but yeah.
I've seen too much Wild Earth. Okay, I've seen things.
Wild Earth.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we didn't go over that anybody in the comments wants to talk about? I want to let that
linger.
Get out there and let you.
Trying to figure out, did I have anything that we didn't talk about? A lot of mine were probably inappropriate.
She does great small community writing. Just everyone and everyone else's business, and you know, she Patience made a comment or something. She goes somewhere and someone, you know, looked at her sunburn like they knew what happened, and she's like, "Well, it makes sense. I've been outside for 3 minutes."
I know, yeah. It's like everybody knows your business, and but they also that small town tight knit community. They're also there for you and helping out, like you know. Adrian reminded me of a frat boy. Yeah,
100%. And that makes me think of this comment here that I highlighted where they were fighting Adrian and Sebastian, and all of a sudden she's just like, "I'm naked," and Adrian like whips around, and I'm like, Sebastian is too much of a gentleman to fall for that trick. Oh
my gosh, yeah, she did. Like hoping to distract one of them, and of course it was Adrian. Oh gosh.
Okay, here's one, and I'm out of order on these because I'm trying to go towards the front of the book. But there was a moment where they were in the forest, and she's like, "A spider web wrapped around my face about 2 steps into the trees outside his house. I spat it out and wiped my eyes free of the silk. My head itched for the rest of the way to the docks." I'm like, I'm sitting here, and I literally feel things crawling on me. Like, I feel for you. Like, I started itching my hair, and I'm like, they're all over me. I can just feel them so much. Yeah. It's gross.
Oh.
So I gotta make sure you guys remember about that moment because I can't live alone for that.
I can't suffer by myself. You feel like you know the town. Yeah.
Well, I love how she posted. She's doing her on Instagram, like her 15 days as a writer. And I think it was, I'm behind on those. I think it was like day 8 or 9 or something. She actually travels to the places to like get the feel of it. And you can really tell that in her writing that she's either been there or been somewhere very similar to it. To kind of get that feel, and it really does encapsulate it really well.
Yeah, she's on day like 15. Jen.
Oh yeah, I'm behind. I gotta get there. Oh my gosh, their comments about the coffee order. So I love coffee, and he's just like, "I'll take a black coffee," and like it was very simple and plain. And then she's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and have where's her order? I'd like a grande, non-fat, no whip, 5-pound, upside down soy caramel macchiato." I have worked at a coffee shop. I've had these people, and the first time they come up to you, you're like, "Who the fuck do you think you are? Like, am I a magician over here? Who are you?" And then if they're a regular, it's fine because at that point you're like, "Okay, I know what you want. You're very particular. You have it. Great." But it's those people that randomly pop in like out of nowhere and they just expect it to you. So I worked at Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. The one thing I hated more than anything was anyone walking into a coffee shop that was not Starbucks and thinking that you're Starbucks. I had like a venti. I'm like, "I don't have venti. What do you want? Like, look at our menu, learn our verbiage. Don't be a dick." So that's, I like how she said, yeah, that whole comment. I was just like, okay. Oh, talk about another asshole quote. So these are just kind of random things that I think about. So Sebastian, he went park in a mall. I think they were at a mall. Yeah, because she had to get her underwear. Anyways, he parked in 3 spots. I was like, don't be that asshole. I hate cars that take up like 17 spots. And I was just like, who taught you how to drive? But at least it was at the end of the row, so I gave him credit.
If you're far enough out and you're not like on a row that's parallel to the entrance to the to the mall, if it's very open space, I feel like that's okay because I mean I have a truck and I'm not going to try and park that thing in between 2 sedans somewhere.
Any kind of parking nowadays, it's like they just fit it for like these like kind of
tiny cars.
And I'm just like, my dually's not going to fit in there. My house is way too big for that.
So I gave him credit for parking further out, but yeah, I was just like at that point, I was just like, "Oh, you're losing points, sir."
I don't know what those words mean. I don't drink coffee.
It's not hard. It's just, it's one of those things that bothered me and I'd walk into different coffee shop knowing, so I would specifically figure it out. And I had one lady, I went into a Starbucks and she was just being really salty to me. So I literally used all the wrong verbiage on purpose because I was like, literally, I have just walked in here and you have no reason to be upset with me. So prepare for the worst customer of your life.
That's why. It's because you walked in.
Yeah. Oh, and then my last one that I'll mention that I was so tempted, but then I realized I would be house sitting. I wanted to make a t-shirt like hers because I don't remember who made it because I'm not here. But basically, she said that she had a t-shirt that had a stick figure and glasses and declared counselors do it on the couch. And I was like, that is literally the best fucking shirt ever. So
counselors do it on the couch.
And they do have those shirts. I could have bought one, but I was just like, ugh, no.
So funny.
Those are all the ones. So mine are all random, aside from the sexual ones. So
like not random at all.
But yeah,
right,
those
so
are mine.
Definitely take a screenshot so you know when our next live stream is. So March 10th. March 10th.
This next book is only available as an ebook, unless if it's available as an audiobook. Do you know, Aaron, if the next one is an audiobook as well?
I don't know.
I probably could have tried to look that up myself.
Do your homework, Jen.
I'm sorry. I know there are no physical copies of it, so.
Which I thought was really weird.
I can understand like if you did 1 and 2, but not 3, but how do you do 1, 3, and not 2?
I know. Drives me nuts.
Like, did they only expect to go to 2, and then they're like, wait, we gotta make it 3?
At least Audible doesn't have it.
Oh, okay.
Good to know. Good to know.
No audiobook, Alicia's saying.
I found the ebook. Oh, okay.
Sad day.
Damn.
Okay, so
but Scribd has an ebook on their subscription. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why some libraries had it too, so you might check your library, digital library too.
Hoopla has the ebooks.
Oh yeah, Hoopla. Oops. Yeah, ditto, Alicia. 100%.
Yeah. So irritating. I wasn't okay with that.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about the audiobook narrator, Aaron?
I thought she did a good job. She got the accents pretty good she gave Claire this kind of twangy accent.
Okay.
And yeah, everyone had enough of their own voice that it was felt natural. Going character to character, you could tell who was saying what line and everything. So.
I always like it when narrators do that. Create enough of a difference that you can kind of tell based off of how they're speaking. That's always really cool.
And it wasn't like jarring, like some male narrators that can't do a woman's voice or the vice versa.
Yeah.
I always find it's so cool how the narrators can keep the certain voices consistent.
Yeah.
And gosh.
I was like, I could barely do one. I could barely read as it is, just like staring at a book. You want me to do an accent? Sorry about it, friends.
Barely read as it is. So this is the next Percy Jackson. For those of you who are participating in the Percy Jackson read-along, this is the next one for that, the Titan's Curse. And this is going to be on Bree's channel. Bree. I thought I had, I do have the book. It's okay.
Come on, Nicole, people are prepared.
It was under my
board.
I got my Post-it note on it.
So I knew when to read and where. Nice.
Yeah, what chapters and when. So. All right. So I think we're going to wrap it up. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Aaron, for joining us again.
Of course.
Yes,
thank you for having me again. No, not at all.
Lots of fun. I love it. So yeah, if anybody else wants to sign up to be in one of the lives, the sign up sheet is in the description box for you. Don't worry if you don't know how to use StreamYard. I do have a link of a tutorial that I did for StreamYard if you want to watch that and be a part of the live stream. Very, very fun. And I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and we'll see you in the next